One thing that would be handy as part of this device is some means of locking the leg rope off, because I mean often someone can hold it for you, but it would free that person up if you could just do a sort of a chain latch, like a chain latch, or you know how those old-fashioned rope pulleys have a lock off, like those two cams. Yep. Something like that. Just chuck it in there and.
Yeah. Okay.
That would add something to it, I think. Although having the foot tied like that obviously helps a bit to steady it.
So has this got sound on it, or is it just...
Yeah, no, it's got sound on it, so it's good.
Careful what I say there.
Yeah, no, you're right. We can edit it, Robbie.
I was going to make comments of him, you know, he likes being on his knees like this, you know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
He's got a foot fetish, you see.
See, all right.
Don't go there.
So if you remember when you were here last, I said I pulled off about the bottom dozen of the cows that weren't firing that well since we went back on twice a day.
Yep.
And you gave me the B12 of selenium.
Oh yes, that's right, and you've jabbed them.
Yeah, I gave them all the jab, drenched the whole herd because they were starting to scratch.
How have they done with that?
Oh, great. I think there's only 6 now that...
still on once a day.
Yeah.
And the rest
have
more
condition than anything.
Well, oh, that's excellent.
Outside of that, they're all just firing.
Brilliant. No more water grades?
No, I haven't had any for a while.
I've had a few other guys complaining about that.
Yep.
I said, get sale of it, because yeah, I mean that's what they did with you, and they just tested each row and confirmed categorically it was nothing to do with water in the line, or
it was just the feed. And what are they feeding? They're feeding that Sage product.
No, they're not actually.
Okay.
Would you have attributed it all to that, or
the initial, when it started, because we were fine until we started feeding that Sage product.
Yep.
And then they just nosedived from there.
And so they nosedived and they got the water grades.
And then the water grades started, and then it took quite a while to come back out of it, to get them to come back up, because we had to get the test back up. Surprisingly enough, going Tabiaca and Putt kernel is what did it.
It's increased the solids?
Yeah. Brought them back up production wise. Damage was done then, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Is it a hole, is it?
Oh. no, that's sound.
So you got to be careful.
Yeah, be careful. Like you say, Rolly's already been busted once.
Hey,
shush, you go home.
I did that myself. I was videoing somebody doing something else, and partway through I said, "This is not recording sound, is it?"
Well, that's the question you ask before you start saying anything.
So where are you based? Where are you?
Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Yeah.
Right.
Sheep, yeah. Have you been out there?
No, not to the
the chief
Like I've been aware
premises.
of you guys for decades. You've been around for a long time now.
Yeah, 35 years, I
Yeah.
think, the business is.
That's impressive.
All the different gizmos and gadgets that you've come up with over
Yeah,
the years.
well, it's good. We've been working with the likes of yourselves, you know, to develop that walkies and this leg lifter.
Yep.
You know, just trying to make things easier. You know, they've well, the walkies we've found for early intervention, as you've discovered. You know, the cowslips will stay on longer, but
I used one of those on a bull just the other day, end of last week, and it seems to have really made a difference there.
one of the walkies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
Actually, because I'm an animal with big feet. Like if you did get a 3 or 4 year old bull, you'd have trouble
Yeah,
getting
you
the
wouldn't
cowslip
get
on
his
it.
cowslip on.
Yeah.
You'd have to go for the extra large ones, but most of the time you don't need it.
And how long did you get out of it, David? Did you hear how long
it's
been
still on.
Still on.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
After
I mean,
how?
it's only been on coming up to a week.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
Week, so.
Yeah. Up
But
to
I
2
normally-
weeks, I think is.
I normally get about 3 weeks out of them.
Do you?
And I mean,
Yeah,
they're pretty thin by the time they fall off. I've had no one yet say, you know, don't use those again, they're a waste of time, they fell off too quick or whatever.
No, we
Yeah,
haven't had any
yeah.
problems. Dave's put a number of them on here, and I found it quite funny watching the cow walk on them because
Well,
she
it's
can't quite put a foot down properly. You know, they scuff it a bit.
But when you see them come in, and then the way they walk in, and then once you put them on, and then they walk out, much easier. It's very gratifying and satisfying.
Oh yeah.
found something in there?
Yeah, no we have. There's pus there, it's just not wanting to
Come
come out.
in and have a look till we do it.
You guys didn't put that lead one in here. You think you'd use it? The one you had to drag that.
You know, we drug this one so we could use it. She tried to kick Dave right from the word go.
Oh.
You can see the pus just
Starting to-
oozing out there.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah, you know, I've zoomed in on it, so.
on the way.
Well, they're going to come right now, all right.
No, they don't when they get to this point.
Well, I'm so looking forward to not having any rain cows.
Oh, you will be.
Michael's just going to do the races up here now, so I dare say you're out for another.